Who's my hero? Two heroes. One was my late dad, who was the guy who taught me to climb when I was small, who was gorgeous and cozy, and life for him was about following your dreams and looking after your friends, and that was, he was a wonderful friend, really, to grow up with. So he was one, and the other was Robin Hood. Yeah. What do you reckon, Jesse? Robin Hood, is that a good hero? Good side of the bad side, or a bit of both. We're all a bit stripy on that basis, aren't we? Would I go back to Everest? Do you know, I've led 2 big expeditions there now, and we've got lucky both times. We summited on the climb, and we flew over that thing on the paragliders, and I think it's a mountain that claims 1 in 6 people's lives who reach the top, and I think if you take that chance once, you might get away with it. If you take it twice, you might get lucky, but eventually you're going to run out of chips. And, so I'm kind of done with Everest, really. I mean, I'd love to take these guys back there and just hike and go to the bottom of the mountain and show it to them one day, but, not to climb it again. Any more carcasses? What do you mean, any more carcasses? Oh, have I got any? This reindeer I got a couple of days ago was huge, and it was minus 30 up there in a blizzard, and I did end up with my whole head and arms and hands stuffed inside its warm blood just to keep warm for a little bit. But even that froze quite quickly. But they're much better places to be than carcasses. Yeah. Yes. Have I been in Quicksand? I've been in Quicksand more times than I've had hot dinners. Quicksand is a horrible place to be, and there are lots of different types of quicksand, lots of different ways to get out of it. But the nasty thing about quicksand is you never really know you're going into it, because often it looks just like the normal mud you're walking on, and suddenly you drop into these things, and they swallow whole vehicles sometimes, and it's why a lot of the cattle get stuck in them, and they don't drown in it, they just run out of strength to be able to get out of it, and then they end up getting devoured by bot flies and everything like that, get dehydrated and then die. I mean, we watched Jesse, do you remember that thing we were watching of the hyenas eating a big what were they eating, Jesse?
They were eating a big buffalo stuck in quicksand whilst it's still alive.
Yeah, that was true. The hyenas were eating it whilst it's still alive, stuck in quicksand. Moving on to more cheery notes. Have I thought I was going to die? Blimey, it's getting less cheery. There have definitely been quite a few sort of dodgy moments, but I've also learned that life is about avoiding those moments. And there's nothing kind of big or brave about nasty times where things can go wrong. And I've been very lucky, I think, on several occasions, and it's given me a good gratitude that life is precious and we've got to hold on to it. So yeah. Worst place I've ever slept, probably in the swamps of Louisiana. Swamps are horrible because they're full of a lot of snakes and a lot of crocodiles, and it's water everywhere and it's mosquitoes everywhere, and I had to make like a swamp bed above a couple of feet above all of the mud and water, and you can just hear all night all the alligators and nasty things, and I don't like swamps. What happened with the parachuting accident is whilst I was with the army, we were in southern Africa, and I jumped from about 14,000 feet, and it was getting dark and came spiralling down very fast, because when it opened it ripped and it just spun me into a spiral, and I should really have just cut it away and gone for that reserve straight away, but I thought I was lower than I was, and I smashed in and broke my back in 3 places and spent a bad year back in military rehabilitation back here afterwards. Yes? Yeah, no, Jesse, you're right. I did. Jesse's reminding me of another parachuting incident I had. Yes, I had no reserve parachute that day. I'm sorry. Yeah, now I always carry reserve parachute, yes. That was more recently, a year ago. I had we were filming and I was paragliding, and did you ever see this on that Mission Everest program? It was fun. And they didn't really tell the whole story, and they said we hit some bad turbulence. But basically what it was, we had a helicopter fly in front of us. We were flying along in our paragliders, and they were filming from the helicopter. And the helicopter moved out of the way, and we flew straight through where the helicopter be without turbulence. And literally I did a somersault over the top of my parachute, got all the lines wrapped, and then came spiraling down very fast, had no reserve, and managed to just control it as I was coming in and smashed in, and that was a bad one, wasn't it, chap? We now always carry a reserve parachute. It's great having a family. Huh? Training for the SAS was hard, you know. I think it's what it is because it, you know, if it was easy, everyone would pass. But it was a time in my life I was very proud of. You know, some of my best friends are still the friends I made from there. But there's no doubt it is, you know, it's a long, sort of year-long process that is quite sort of unpleasant for most of it. Yeah. Favorite colour? Colour. Oh gosh, do you know, I do have quite a lot of pink stuff. Because it's a good way. I've got an old motorbike, and I've had so many motorbikes nicked over the years, and I found out the only way to stop my motorbike getting nicked was to spray paint it pink. And no self-respecting teenager's going to want to be seen on a bright pink graffitied motorbike. So yeah, I don't know, I quite like these sort of colours. I quite like my blues and greeny greys, and yeah.